Holidazed. Did y'all know that this is a real word in the dictionary? It is a real word. It means dazed, confused, and worn out by the excessiveness of the holiday. A real word, holidazed. And let's face it, Christmas is a stressful time. We get so caught up in trying to create that perfect Hallmark lifetime perfect Christmas. We search and search and search to try to find the right present. The tree's got to look just right. Presents have to be wrapped just so. Food has to be just perfect. And what do? We set ourselves up for a budget frenzy breakdown come January and February. And I don't want that for you all, because that's not what it's about. I don't want you going out and charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars, because those bills are going to come in. And this morning, as I challenge you all, I'm challenging me too. And I'm telling you about things that I've been through, or perhaps things that I'm dealing with, so that I can help alleviate some of your holidazed stress. Okay, these are 7 laws of being holidays. Okay, you ready? Number 1, the time that you spend trying to find a parking place is about 5 minutes less than what you had to spend in the store. How many of y'all know that if you got 20 minutes and you're going to run in and get something, it's going to take you 15 to find a parking space at Christmas time, is it not? The other checkout line always moves faster, always. And if you don't believe me, get out of your line and go get in the other. You know what I'm talking about. Beware of these 3 very frightening words. Some assembly required. Be aware that unassembled toys take 3 times as long to assemble as they say, because the guy who wrote the instructions speaks 3 languages and English isn't one of them. And there will always be at least one missing part, but you will also have a pile of nuts and bolts and washers left over. The 3 most often overlooked words at Christmas time are batteries not included. And when you go back to the store to buy that gift that your husband or your kids saw, and you're sneaking back trying to get it for them just yesterday, guess what? It's gone. You hear this loud crash in the living room. Yeah, that was your tree that just fell over. Yeah. And if your toilet is ever going to clog up or the sink break down, you know when it's going to happen. When you got people over for Christmas. But you know, Christmas stress is not anything new. And we have got to be intentional. And we have got to determine in our hearts that we are going to hit the pause button in this crazy, busy time. And we are so holidazed with everything going on, and we pile a lot of stuff on ourselves. Now, there was these 2 guys, and they lived in Florida, and they dropped their wives off to go Christmas shopping. And one of them had a sailboat, so they decided they dropped their wives off and they would go sailing. So they're out there sailing, they're out there in the boat, and they are just having a good time. Their wives are at the mall, they're having a good time. But all of a sudden, this terrible storm comes up. And they had great difficulty controlling the sailboat, and it got away from them, and it became grounded on a sandbar. And they had to jump overboard. And they were pulling and pushing and tugging and trying to get the sailboat loose from the sandbar. And the waves are rushing up on them. They are soaking wet. The wind is coming. It's terrible. They're cold. They're knee-deep in mud. And one of the guys looks over at his buddy and says, you know, this still beats Christmas shopping. What should be the greatest season of the year? What should bring us such great joy? And what should warm our hearts? Often brings stress, headaches, depression. Seen any Walmart shootings on the news lately? Parking lot rage, not just road rage, but this time of year we get parking lot rage. The stress associated with Christmas time, it often makes what should be the most wonderful season of the year a miserable mess. A miserable mess. Time filled with dread instead of true anticipation like it should be. And I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but how many of you have perhaps said it out loud or at least thought it in your heart? Man, I'll be so glad to see January come. We think that. We wish away the most glorious season of the year. That is the foundation of our Christian faith. And we hurry it away in the hustle and the bustle and the stress and trying to create that perfect Hallmark Christmas. We miss the whole purpose, the whole gift that God is trying to give us. But you know, the first Christmas, it had a little stress too. In Luke 1:26-30, in the 6th month, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. The angel went to her and said, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you." Mary was greatly troubled at his words and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will be with child and give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus." You know, there was a little stress back at the first Christmas. Now think about it. If an angel comes and knocks on your door, is that not going to be stressful? I mean, come on. How many of us have actually had an angel? I'm not talking about like a friend that brings us cookies when we're sick, but I'm talking about, think if a real angel knocked on your door. Now think about back in this time, you know, angels are showing up and they're talking to all these people, to Mary and Joseph and Elizabeth and different people. You know it had to scare the living daylights out of these people. I mean, angels showing up, it just wasn't the norm. It had to be a scary time. Some stress at the first Christmas. Mary's a teenage girl and she's pregnant, out of wedlock. And the daddy of the baby is not even Joseph. Can you imagine? She's got some splaining to do to her daddy. Can you imagine going and saying, Mom, Dad, I just don't know how I'm going to tell you this, but, yeah, I know I'm young and yeah, I'm getting ready to have a baby and yeah, that guy that you pawned me off to, it's not even his. Can you imagine? Stress. Poor Mary. I mean, think about that. Think about that. I mean, she's trying to explain to her parents what's going on. I mean, she's getting ready to have a baby and it's not Joseph. And then Joseph, he's got some stress of his own. In Matthew, we read about some stress that Joseph had. This is how the birth of Jesus came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be with child through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was a righteous man and did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly. He was going to dump her quietly. He wasn't going to put it on Facebook. He was just going to dump her, you know, he's just going to dump her quietly and, you know, hope it just go away. So Joseph's got some stress. Now what do I do? What do I do? Got this pregnant chick with me. It's not even my baby. Joseph had some stress too. And then an angel comes to Joseph. More Christmas stress here. Got angels talking to Mary. Got angels talking to Joseph. So Joseph is told that Mary is carrying the Son of God. And it's up to him to take care of Mary and this baby. You think that ain't stressful that you got to take care of the Son of God? Wow. And I'm sure Joseph is wondering, okay, now he's the Son of God. Is he ever going to get out of line? And if he does get out of line, can I bust his butt? He's the Son of God. What do I do here? I mean, you know, all these thoughts have to be going through Joseph's mind. Stress. There was stress at the first Christmas too. Joseph has some more stress. Let's see what it says in Luke. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria. And everyone went to his own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. And I didn't know this until last night when I was studying this. But in the Bible, we always say, and we've heard the story, there was no room in the inn. Actually, there was no room in the guest house. Joseph was counting on staying with family. And there wasn't room in the guest house. Because Joseph was probably thinking, okay, the in-laws, the aunts, the uncles, you know, they'll help with the baby. They'll help Mary's first-time mom. She doesn't know what to do. No. But Joseph is compelled by law. He has got to get back to the city of his birth for the census. He has to. It's law. He has got to make that trip. So Joseph finds himself on the road with a pregnant woman. Now, at this point, she's a very pregnant woman, okay? Very pregnant. Now, think about this. Here he is. He's out in the desert with this very pregnant woman, and there are no Dairy Queens. Now, what are they going to do when Mary gets craving ice cream in the middle of the desert? And there is no Dairy Queen, okay? Now, think about it, okay? Christmas stress. The Sahara McDonald's is out of pickles. There are no rest stops, no Sheets where they can stop and get some iced coffee. There is no Starbucks. They're out in the middle of the desert making this trip with a very, very, very pregnant woman. You ever stop to wonder what kind of mood Mary might have been in by the time they got there? Yeah. There was just a little Christmas stress. First Christmas. They finally get there, and we talked about that. There wasn't room for them to stay. And then to add to the Christmas stress, Joseph gets to go tell his very, very, very pregnant wife, Mary, there's just really no place for us to stay. We get to sleep in the barn. She's pregnant out to here, and yeah. Joseph is the lucky one. He gets to tell her, we're going to sleep in the barn. Just a little Christmas stress that first Christmas. There were a few glitches along the way. But I think we can all agree it was the most perfect Christmas. And here's what we do about all this. We have to stop and remember why we are doing what it is that we are doing in the middle of this holidazed mess and frenzy that we found ourselves in. Can I take a load off of you? People really don't care about the perfection of the presents. You know, as long as my gift card to McDonald's comes, I don't care what y'all wrap it in. Put it in a Pringles can. Give it to me. I don't care. McDonald's will still take it. It's all good. I want you to decide to make a difference for someone else. Tell someone that you've maybe never told before what a blessing that they have been to you this past year. Maybe somebody's done something for you that's really touched you. Remind them of that. Visit someone who might be lonely. Be extra kind to the Grinch at work. Pay it forward or backwards. You know, yesterday, Hannah and I, we were in the drive-thru at McDonald's. Did I tell you all I like McDonald's? We were in the drive-thru at McDonald's getting breakfast, and the lady in front of us, it happened to be her birthday, but she paid it backwards. She bought our breakfast, and I was so touched by that. I'm thinking, I should be doing that for her. It's her birthday. Pay it backwards, pay it forwards. Do something nice for somebody else this Christmas season. I want you to give your gifts this Christmas as God gave to you, as God gave to us. As we give this year, give without any obligation, without any reservation. Give, don't look back. No ulterior motives. Just freely give. And finally, you know how I talked to y'all about lightning bugs? You know, in the summertime, I tell y'all when you see those first lightning bugs to go catch them. Well, in the wintertime, here's what I want you to do when you see snowflakes. I want you to go and hold your hand out. Catch one of those snowflakes. Be a child again. Catch that snowflake. We need a silent night in the middle of this holidays mess that we found ourselves in. I want you to steal away. I want you, if you have your tree up already, maybe you haven't put it up yet, maybe you're not going to put one up. If you have, I want you to go in and just sit in front of that tree. Stop. Hit pause. Stop. Go sit down in front of that tree. If you don't have a tree, I want you to make yourselves a cup of tea. I want you to find a place in your home where you can steal away with God. I want you to quietly ponder what God has done in your life. Maybe this is a season where things aren't the best they've ever been. Maybe things are hard financially. Maybe there's relationship problems that you're not sure where they're going. Maybe there's just things going on and it's not the happiest of seasons. I still want you to sit there and I want you to quietly ponder with God. You know that cliche that we say 1,000 times, the reason for this season, it is so true. Please ponder that. It is the very foundation of our Christian faith. I want you to let God nudge you as you are sitting there pondering. Let God speak to you. Maybe you need to stop doing this. Start doing that. Maybe God's been telling you to lay something down. Maybe God has spoken to your heart and laid something on your heart about something that He wants you to do. And you just haven't been brave enough. You just haven't found the courage. Go for it. Go for it. As I close this morning, I just want to share with you lyrics from an Amy Grant song that I love to hear her sing this time of year. And she sings a song that says, I need a silent night, a holy night, to hear an angel voice through the chaos and the noise. I need a midnight clear, a little peace right here to end this crazy day with a silent night. May you take the time in the craziness of this season to let God in your heart. He just simply wants to hang out with you and be friends.